Good evening, you're watching Independent News. I'm Adam Gawler. Before we go into the details of each story this evening, let me give you a couple of the headlines. Home Minister Mohiuddin Khan Alamgir alleges that the BNP-led four-party alliance government destroyed evidence of the jail killings of 4 national leaders. This was during its last term in office. The National Board of Revenues is preparing a list of landlords in a bid to check tax evasion. The board chairman says that the tax net will be expanded in future. The country's dependency on costly oil-generated electricity is unlikely to go down is unlikely to decrease until 2015 because of the difficulty in finding new gas and coal reserves. Home Minister Mohiuddin Khan Alamgir has alleged that the BNP-led four-party alliance government destroyed evidence instead of speeding up the trial in the jail killing case. The minister said this was done during the BNP's last term in office. The minister made the comment while inspecting the Dhaka Central Jail today. He added that necessary information has been collected and handed over to the Attorney General to appeal against the High Court's verdict in the case. The 4 national leaders of the wartime national government, Acting President Syed Nasrul Islam, Prime Minister Tajuddin Ahmed and Cabinet Ministers M. Mansoor Ali and A.H.M. Kamar Zaman were brutally killed inside the Dhaka Central Jail on the 3rd of November in 1975.
None of the perpetrators who masterminded the killings and tried to cripple the nation were brought to justice in this case. While preparing our appeal proceedings, we noticed that the evidence and documents that we need to file an appeal at court have been removed or destroyed.
Meanwhile, the government has submitted a concise statement with the Appellate Division of the Supreme Court for hearing a pending appeal in the jail killing case. The Attorney General's office will file an application with the Appellate Division for hearing this case on the 4th of November. On the 28th of August in 2008, the High Court acquitted 6 accused from the charge of killing 4 national leaders inside the Dhaka Central Jail on the 3rd of November in 1975. The 4 leaders were Syed Nasrul Islam, Tajuddin Ahmed, A.H.M. Kamar Zaman and Captain Mansoor Ali. Later in September 2009, the Awami League-led government filed an appeal petition with the Appellate Division. With this appeal, the Awami League challenged the High Court verdict. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has said that the government has taken initiatives to train the youth and engage them in productive activities. She said that 14 ministries are training the youth and they are also receiving loan facilities. The Premier made these observations today after inaugurating National Youth Day 2012 at the Osmani Auditorium in the capital. The Prime Minister also urged the youth not to get involved in drugs, terrorism and other antisocial activities.
The theme of this year's National Youth Day is Trained Youth Force, Developed Economy. The day is observed every year to raise awareness among the youth. After inaugurating the Youth Day programs, the Prime Minister said that the government has launched several programs prioritizing the youth. The Premier added that the youth are being trained into skilled manpower and about 600,000 youths have been trained and given loans to become self-employed.
We have taken several initiatives to encourage young men and women in productive activities. We have also taken initiatives to train young men and women, to provide them with loans through the Department of Youth Development and to make them self-employed.
The Prime Minister also said that her government will ensure all facilities for the youth to make them responsible citizens. The Premier also regretted the fact that some young people go astray and added that everyone should shoulder the responsibility to bring them back to the path of enlightenment.
I urge the youth not to get involved in drugs, terrorism and criminal activities. Everyone should try to contribute to the socio-economic development of the country and help others to do the same.
Later, Sheikh Hasina presented awards to 12 people and 3 organizers on the occasion of the National Youth Day.
In other news, BNP chairperson Khalida Zia visited Ajmer Sharif, the shrine of Sufi saint Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti, today on the 5th day of her current visit to India. At the shrine, Khalida Zia prayed for the peace and prosperity of the people of Bangladesh. BNP Standing Committee member Tariqul Islam, her advisors Riaz Rahman and Sabiuddin Ahmed, BNP Vice Chairman Shamsir Mobin Chaudhry were also among those accompanying the party chief during her visit. After the visit, the leader of the opposition left for Delhi. The BNP chief is expected to meet Indian President Pranab Mukherjee and Congress President Sonia Gandhi in the coming days. The National Board of Revenue, or NBR, is preparing a list of landlords to check if they have been evading taxes. New NBR chairman Ghulam Hussain has given a month to tax officers of different circles to complete the list. The NBR chairman says that a list of shop owners will also be prepared later in a bid to expand the tax net.
Around 1,500 flat owners live in the Japan Garden City complex in Mohammadpur. Many of them didn't get a tax identification number or TIN when they bought their flats almost a decade ago. Now, when they have got the TINs, do they really pay taxes properly?
As far as I know, all of them submit tax returns. They still have time to submit tax returns till the 15th of November.
According to the NBR, around 3.5 million people across the country have TINs, but only 1.2 million people submit tax returns regularly. Many reportedly avoid paying taxes even though their income exceeds the tax-free income limit. However, the NBR has no data as to how many of them are landlords. Therefore, they are now preparing a list of landlords to check tax evasion.
After a month, each tax commissioner will submit a report giving names and details of all landlords in his locality. It is also applicable to people outside city corporations and municipalities areas.
Besides, many of the shopping malls in Dhaka and elsewhere are reportedly doing millions of taka worth of business. The NBR has also decided to prepare a list of such shop owners in a bid to expand the tax net.
Many people are doing business after obtaining a valid trade license from the city corporation or municipality authorities. I want to bring them under the tax net. I am not talking about roadside shops.
The NBR chairman said that they will also make a list of doctors, engineers, lawyers and other professionals.
The country's manpower export has reduced to a great extent after the United Arab Emirates stopped issuing visas to Bangladeshi workers. According to the Bureau of Manpower, Employment and Training, only 29,624 Bangladeshi workers went to different countries with jobs in the month of October, while the number was 67,738 in January. The Bureau added that the country's manpower export reduced by 56% in the last 10 months. In August, the United Arab Emirates government decided not to issue visas to Bangladeshi workers. That decision eventually affected the country's manpower export. The UAE was the largest market for manpower export from Bangladesh over the last decade. The country is becoming more and more dependent on oil for generating electricity because of the difficulty in finding new gas and coal reserves. The government initiated another oil-based quick rental power plant this month. The Power Secretary says that the country's dependence on fuel oil for generating power will not reduce until 2015.
Of the 80 active power stations in the country, 33 run on oil. The Power Development Board has said that 7 more power stations will be set up in the next 2 years, and foundation stones for 5 more power stations will be laid this year. Of these, the Ashaganj and Siddharganj power stations will run on gas. The others will depend on fuel oil. As a result, the power tariff will go up even further.
We don't have any alternative but to use oil for power generation. We had estimated that our production cost and our price will be at par by 2014, but it will only be possible to achieve the target in 2015.
The government has taken several initiatives to reduce dependence on oil, but the initiatives have not been implemented so far.
We signed a deal with a company, but the work is still at a preparatory stage. We also called a tender for 4 to 5 power stations, which will be run on imported coal. These stations will be run by the private sector.
Experts said that the generation of electricity by depending on imported oil is extremely uncertain.
Supply, market and price, neither of these are constant because these are import-oriented. All countries want to be self-sufficient in energy, which is not possible.
Experts said that the cost of power generation will go up even further if the government fails to increase the use of local coal and gas.
The International Crimes Tribunal 2 has set the 4th of November to frame charges against war crimes suspect and Jamaat leader Abul Kalam Azad. Meanwhile, at the International Crimes Tribunal 1, defense lawyers cross-examined Motiur Rahman, the investigation officer and also prosecution witness against another war crimes accused, Ghulam Azam. The Tribunal 1, led by Justice Nizamul Haq, indicted Ghulam Azam on the 13th of May on 61 counts of crimes against humanity committed during the 1971 Liberation War. In Tribunal 2, lawyers of another Jamaat leader, Abdul Qadir Mullah, cross-examined investigation officer Abdul Razak Khan. And with that, I'll hand over to my colleague Adnan Hussain for further news. Adnan, I see you're here. Ready to go?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Election Commissioner Zabed Ali has said that the Commission will hold dialogues with political parties from the 3rd week of November. He added that the Commission will write to 38 political parties this week to invite them for talks. Zabed Ali made the announcement while talking to journalists at the Commission Secretariat in the capital today. He said that the schedule of the dialogues will be fixed after the Chief Election Commissioner returns home from the US. He mentioned that the Commission will hold talks with civil society members. In reply to a query, Zabed Ali stated that the Commission will not take any initiative on its own to ban student wings of political parties. However, he added that the measures will be taken if any specific complaint is made.
We hope that all political parties will respond accordingly. We have some constraints on seating arrangement here. In the past, we saw that many had to sit at the backstage due to a shortage of seats. This time, we will try to accommodate everyone in the same row.
Communications Minister Obaidul Qadir says that no election will be held in the country using influence or any physical force. A free and fair election will be held in due time with the participation of all parties. The minister made the comments this noon at Gangchilu Pazela in Noakhali while distributing relief among hurricane victims. Regarding an incident on Monday in which 5 people were killed by a mob on suspicion of robbery, the minister said that no one has the right to take the law into their own hands. The minister also warned the police against harassing innocent citizens over the incident. At least 3 people have died and 21 have been injured in a road accident in Sirajganj's Solonga area. Police said that on Thursday morning, a Dhaka-bound bus from Dinajpur hit a truck parked on the road in Buribari in Solonga area. The bus, which was full of passengers, fell into a roadside ditch. 2 staff of the bus died immediately. The injured were taken to Sirajganj's General Hospital and other clinics. A passenger named Pradeep Kumar died at the hospital. Pradeep was identified as a student of MBA at the Daffodil International University. The Leather Goods Exporters Association fear that the leather sector will suffer losses if the government decides to allow rawhide export. In order to safeguard the interests of the leather sector, the association urged the government not to allow export of raw hides.
Businessmen of the leather industry have been saying that the leather sector of the country is going through a tough time since the price of leather in the international market is low and the stock is not selling. There is a risk of this year's Qurbani leather getting smuggled. On Sunday, the Commerce Minister told journalists that the government is considering exporting raw leather legally.
I think it is very sad that he is taking such a decision without discussing matters with us, without holding discussions with the main leather consumers.
Such a self-destructive decision is unexpected for this sector and for the country.
The president of the association said that the smugglers are already active after hearing the news that the government is considering the export of raw hides. So the association urged the government to back away from the thought.
I am again respectfully requesting the minister to reconsider this decision. This decision will be self-destructive if it is not changed soon.
The association leaders fear that thousands of employees in the leather sector of the country will become unemployed if government allows the export of raw hides.
And now international news. In Sri Lanka, ruling party MPs has begun move to impeach Chief Justice Shirani Bandaranaike. Officials say a parliamentary motion to impeach Bandaranaike was submitted on Thursday. Impeachment is the only constitutional way to remove a sitting Chief Justice. Correspondents say the move is the latest manifestation of tension between the government and the judiciary. In recent months, the judiciary has made some rulings which are considered to be unfavorable towards the government. But what precise charges have been brought against Bandaranaike is unclear. She was appointed Sri Lanka's first woman Chief Justice last year. President Rajapaksa's party has enough seats for the impeachment to succeed, but the process could take months. That's all from me. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you very much. I believe we have a mobile update here. Let me see. Yes. You can get more news and updates from independent television through your mobile phones. For breaking news, go to your mobile message option, type *B and send to 16232. For daily news updates, type *DND for daily news, of course, and send to 16232. You can also call 16232 from any operator to listen to the latest headlines in Bangla. And that was it for this evening from both of us. We're going to say good night. We'll be back, of course, at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. Hope to see you then.
Good night.